Hello, everyone. I'm Katie Richardson, Vice President of Clinical Relations for AngelMD, and I am here today with Joe Rosenberg, who is the founder and CEO of a unique company called Canopy. We are excited to have Joe here as our Pitch Club extension company for our emergency medicine pitch club. Joe, go ahead and share your slides, and we're excited to hear all about Canopy and what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you for having me, Katie. We really appreciate it and all that AngelMD is doing to support the startup ecosystem. So today I'll be presenting about our startup called Canopy, which is a reusable respiratory platform designed to improve patient experience, to reduce health system costs, to improve clinician safety, and to reduce the tons and tons of landfill waste associated with disposable PPE. So as we all know, the problem is that the disposable N95 is a half-century-old design that is costly, environmentally wasteful, not a great solution for emergency preparedness due to unstable supply chains, and relative to reusable respirators is not nearly as safe as one might think. The science is pretty unanimous that reusable respirators are a superior solution to disposables. And the biggest barrier to adoption has been the fact that the market thus far lacks a solution that is really designed specifically for use in a clinical setting, which is why we developed Canopy. So Canopy is a patented ground-up design that is specifically intended to provide superior safety, comfort, sustainability, and economics. And of course, it is see-through, which is a game changer in terms of improved communication with patients and has been shown to improve trust in clinicians. Canopy was designed in close collaboration with dozens and dozens of clinicians and hospital administrators throughout the course of the pandemic to address their top pain points regarding respiratory protective devices. And so some of the features that came out of that are a gentle but airtight seal that's made of implantable grade silicone that can be worn on your face for a 12-hour shift without any sort of bruising or facial irritation. There's no exhalation valve, so there's full source control and two-way filtration to protect both the wearer and those around the wearer. The way that the architecture is set up eliminates any fogging of glasses. We're able to provide 98.6% submicron particulate filtration, which I'll talk about in a little more depth in a moment. The device is also made entirely out of thermoplastic and silicone. There's no non-porous straps or whatnot, so everything can be wiped down and disinfected with most commonly used disinfectant wipes that are ubiquitous throughout hospitals. And the device is designed to fit a very, very broad range of facial structures based on a broad data set that the CDC had published of American face shapes. One of the biggest innovations with this device is the use of fully mechanical filtration. So we actually use a nanofiber membrane within our filter, which does not rely on any sort of electrostatic charge to get its filtration efficiency. And this sets us apart from every other type of respirator on the market. The ones that use the electrostatic charge can have that charge disrupted when the device is exposed to commonly used disinfectants like isopropyl alcohol, detergent, and bleach, whereas our device has no electrostatic charge and remains stable when it's exposed and completely soaked in those particular disinfectant solutions. The biggest challenge with using that type of filtration historically has been poor breathability. But what we've been able to do through this patented system architecture is create a solution with 3 times the surface area of a disposable N95. And so we've been able to accomplish best-in-class breathability with a much more stable filter, which will minimize the risk of user error when disinfecting and cleaning their devices. In terms of the science behind this, we've passed all of our validation testing. The device exceeds the NIOSH published safety standards for filtration, breathability, fit and residual CO2. We've tested hundreds and hundreds of units. You can see how our device performs filtration-wise once it's subjected to these various types of cleaning agents. Users that have tried the device thus far have granted us really positive ratings with an NPS score up around 60 relative to -29 for legacy respiratory protective devices. And from a cost perspective, we can save health systems millions of dollars per year while bolstering their stability of their supply chains and reducing their landfill waste on the order of 95% relative to disposables. So as we said, the tooling and validation is all complete. Fulfillment is ready. We have product in our warehouse. We've been fulfilling orders to B2C customers already. We have a great commercialization partnership with some very seasoned medical device sales executives. We've been granted a utility patent on the device. We are submitting to the regulator, NIOSH, in the next couple of weeks and anticipate federal certification as a reusable N95 towards the end of this year or early next year. And pending the certification, we have implementations lined up with Northwell, University of Maryland, Emory, and the University of Vermont Health Network. Beyond that, we're looking at internationalization for the first half of next year and are really excited to tell you all more about what we're doing and explore opportunities to collaborate with interested clinicians or administrators on the next steps. And then, lastly, the team that's behind this, I'm the founder and CEO. I spent most of my career thus far at Google in our emerging business unit. I left there in 2017 to focus on entrepreneurial endeavors. And some of our investors and partners include Jim Walker, former SVP of Global Corporate Sales for Boston Scientific, my co-founder and COO, Doug Clift, a trained biomedical engineer who spent most of his career thus far at DaVita Dialysis in their operations innovation group. And QX Yi is a graduate of the Hopkins Center for Bioengineering, Innovation, and Design. He's led up our product development, and we're complemented by some really wonderful experts across material science, regulatory, government affairs, and finance and med device technology. So thank you very much, and look forward to all of your questions. Feel free to contact me directly at joe@onecanopy.com with any questions or comments.
Joe, thank you so much. This is exciting. I know I've been doing telehealth, since the pandemic started, but there are a lot of clinicians out there that I think are going to be very excited about having a new option compared to the N95. Certainly a pandemic makes us realize a lot of things. And one of those is that these masks that we have are not very comfortable when you're talking a 10 to 12 hour shift. So tell me a little bit more about, I know you've done a lot of usability testing. Tell me a little bit more about what you're hearing about, again, the comfort of it, the ability to wear it all day long. Is it hot? Does it fog up glasses? All of those things, I think, are things that, providers have complained about over the past couple of years.
Yeah, so we thank you very much. We intended to solve for all of those pain points. We heard very loud and clear, very consistent pain points around the comfort and security of the seal. So we went through, I think, 9 rounds of iterative prototyping to get the perfect shape to fit and provide a positive seal, but also be very comfortable. We've received consistently high ratings from users on that. In terms of the overall usability, the ability to don and doff the device very easily and adjust it with all of the tubes and ratchets we make available for, a near custom fit. The breathability in particular, we get great marks on for, just being breathable enough that you almost can't tell you're wearing a respirator. There's no fogging whatsoever. You can wear safety glasses with it. We're developing an integrated face shield as well. The heat is something that is sort of inherent with any two-way filtering device without an exhalation valve. So we definitely see an opportunity to continue to innovate there. And then, the biggest limiting factor of this device thus far is its size. So, we're at the sort of the forefront of filter manufacturing technology right now. And in order to get the surface area, we need to use the mechanical filtration. The device is a little bit bulkier. It does sort of stick out a little bit further than some are used to. But what we've found in the dozens of tests that we've conducted, clinicians seem to be willing to accept that trade-off for all of the other features and benefits and protection that the device provides. And in a future generation of the device, we certainly look to continue to minimize the form factor.
Great. And a couple other questions came to mind as you were talking about this. I'm assuming there has to be, similar to our N95s, every year we had to go through an official kind of testing to make sure that the fit and the seal were good. I'm assuming your product will be the same way?
That's right. That's a Department of Labor, OSHA regulation as part of any institution's respiratory protection program, that users need to be fitted once a year through a qualitative or quantitative fit test. Canopy is compatible with those tests with the Bitrex and the saccharin hood tests. And then, of course, anytime a user switches to a new sort of device, they're required to have that test. And that's really a requirement more on the occupational safety realm than the device manufacturing itself.
Got it. And then one other question that popped into my head. So these are reusable, as you mentioned. What do you think the life of one of these, how long do you think you can continue to wear it before it might need to be replaced?
Great question. So we designed this to have the filter replaced once a quarter. So we've tested this to 480 hours of use, which equates to roughly a quarter of use in 12-hour emergency department shifts, 4 days a week. It's been tested to that with no performance degradation whatsoever. And because of the mechanical filtration, it probably can go even longer than that. So we're looking at some extended longevity testing. And then the rest of the device, it's just polypropylene and silicone. So it's intended to last for years and years and years. So, we're really proud of the durability of this device, which was, one of the things we were really focused on developing.
Great. Talk a little bit more about your distribution plans and how you think you're going to be able to gain widespread adoption with this device.
So, great question. We think about this both in terms of healthcare and then also the government. So, just briefly on the government, there is a growing consensus that the strategic national stockpile needs to be modernized and replaced with more innovative reusable respirators such as ours. So we're pursuing that with Governor Peter Shumlin as a member of our advisory board, and we're actually heading down to DC in a couple of weeks to hold some meetings on that topic. But more specifically on the healthcare side, we're focused on large-scale system-wide deals with the top IDNs throughout the country. We have a strategic partnership with Jim Walker and his firm, which is called Access Strategy Partners. Jim previously was the head of global corporate sales at Boston Scientific, and his partner, John Strong, was the former CEO of Consorta, which was rolled into Healthtrust Purchasing Group. And the two of them have been working with a handful of medical device companies to gain them access to the wild world of healthcare procurement. And so we've garnered a lot of interest from the strategic sourcing and supply chain leadership from some of the country's largest health systems. And we need to sort of marry that with clinical support and advocacy, to really gain early pilots with more institutions. So, if there are clinicians or administrators that are interested in experimenting with some implementation tests, we would love to be connected with you all.
That's fantastic. And just lastly, outside of early testers, anything else that the AngelMD network could do to support you and Canopy?
Yeah, I mean, I think that advocacy for reusable respirators as the more sustainable solution broadly as a category of products is something that we think, letting your leadership at your health systems know that this is something you would like to see them implement would be great. Frankly, even writing to your elected officials, and letting them know that, the supply chain for disposables is still unstable and there is domestic safer products out there would be wonderful. And then finally, we're always eager to be connected with individuals that have, a vested interest in the space and want to tell us their own stories, share their own pain points, feature requests. We're happy to provide samples to interested folks and, continue to gather more and more user feedback, particularly as we, look to we're already starting to work on the second generation of the device.
That's fantastic. Joe, I'm excited to hear about all your future successes and where this goes. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And like I said, we'll look forward to hearing more in the future.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.